So the Metro 3, in fact, actually 2017 February, I think early February, Metro made the wonderful mistake of cutting down 500-600 trees on the weekend at Cuff Parade, which was a horrible thing. It was disastrous, but actually it was a very good thing, but it woke the citizens up. Mm-hmm. In one fell sweep, they could kill like 500-600 trees, and that was what the first court case that went against the Metro 3 line. And it woke up a lot of people. Earlier, we were trying very hard to wake up people, but this was really disaster. And so.
And when did it happen?
February 2017.
Okay.
So 2021, 4 years ago. Before that, we were trying to get trees down Churchgate line, and we tied trees and we tied strings around trees and posters on the trees. So they hadn't yet cut anything, but they threatened to cut all the trees from Churchgate down to Cuff Parade. So, and they said like something like 2,000 trees. They're like, there aren't that many trees. What are you going to take? But anyway, the way the Metro works is they just open their big mouths and unfortunately lie to us. And we've been fighting the lie. In fact, there's a newspaper cutting which I should show you. If I could share screen later on, I'll just read it out to you. The impact it has had on us has been disastrous. Cuff Parade has had a couple of times when the ambulances couldn't get to certain buildings. Fire engines couldn't get to certain buildings. There's no access. And Cuff Parade has, I don't know how many, 20,000 odd, residents. They just blocked it all off. There's zero. I mean, they say there's obviously, but we don't see it. All the main arteries have been blocked. All the main arteries are dug up. Main Churchgate, luckily, thanks to lockdown, there's been less traffic here. But otherwise, they've taken away the whole road behind Churchgate. And at rush hour, they'll have this huge, those 18-ply, carriers, blocking the road. They can't figure out how to do it at night. They can't figure out how to do it early morning. So they've really jacked it up, to be polite. Not only that, they've also, somehow they don't seem to understand that underground, they're supposed to be 30 meters underground. Why are they going from the top down when they could have just drilled and tunneled, which is more expensive, yes, but they have the budget. The BMC and the South Bombay and basically Bombay has the major budget. They have, in fact, the richest institute in Southeast Asia. And never mind also the most corrupt. But the fact is they could have tunneled. Britain, a poor country and a third world country as well. They have a metro which they made some 70 years ago. And they're completely underground. So why can't we do it in 2021? To citizens, well, old people can't go out because of the digging. A friend of mine had cancer and chemotherapy is living right outside the metro work. She can't breathe, she can't listen, she can't hear, and she's not old. But she has no place to go and recover after chemo. Okay? What else has happened about the metro with the digging? We have had black water in our water supply because they put some chemical in there. I think it has leaked into our water supply. They have mixed up. Sometimes they burst the sewage, burst the water supply. So we've got sewage in our water. We've had no electricity for days on end. They blew up, or while digging, they broke a telephone line. So we didn't have internet. We didn't have our landlines.
And when did this happen?
This happened in 2018, I think. So for 4 months or 5 months, we did without MTNL, and the fight was between MTNL and MMRDC. Because they broke the cables, they were supposed to replace the cable, but MMRD did not reimburse MTNL, so MTNL could not afford to replace the cables until MMRDC gave them the money. So the citizens, about 200 or 500 lines down this area, had no landline, no internet connection. So the basic rights to communication, water, electricity. Once they blew up another signal box at Churchgate, for 4 or 5 days, the policemen waving around pretending to organize traffic because the signal box had been broken by MMDC or MMRDC digging. So if this is the kind of planning and digging they do to citizens in the 21st century, I dread to think what the metro eventually will be. I have a personal suggestion that they should make it a wonderful sewage system and replenish our city like that. That's a bit of a joke, but I mean it also.
Yes, so because of the rising flooding, do you think that kind of a drainage, if the underground metro is converted into a drainage system, it could have been a better thing for the Mumbaikars?
Definitely. So last year we saw floods in Churchgate, which we have never seen before. Veer Nariman Road, the one that connects Flora Fountain to Churchgate to Marine Drive, that never floods. But thanks to the metro unplanned planning work, that was the first time it was a gushing river. You know, okay, the Oval Maidan used to flood, but the Oval Maidan was lower. But, so that's okay. But the roads flooding with cars making those like flood, you know, like super, those speedboats like thing, that never used to happen at Churchgate, but it's happening now thanks to Metro 3. And one more point, which is because the metro is digging on behind my building, in front of my building, we have so much dust that before the coronavirus, we've all been coughing. And so much so that if you dust in my front room or back room, after 2 hours, there's enough dust on the table where you can write a letter to people, leave it. So now we don't use post-it, we write on the dust. ये गंदगी पर हम लोग चिट्ठी लिखता है, गाड़ी पर ऐसे नोट लिखते हैं एक दूसरे के लिए, क्योंकि इतना दूर है अपने. You can imagine what is in our lungs.
So this is because of the construction dust from the metro construction.
Yeah, construction dust, and they also, I think, they're making cement over here, which is so stupid. We have that fine dust. और बहुत शाना है, क्योंकि सुबह में they hose it down, so all the dust gets settled. But दिन में it's flying around and in our lungs. So we have no idea. If we have an X-ray of our lungs, we look like a cement mixer. The metro walas are very sorted. They are, because we put a case on them about the noise pollution. They're working 24/7 in residential areas. It's completely unethical and should not be allowed. But all their little noise meters are conveniently set that it's all between 70 and 80, and they say that is okay for human hearing, and that's not okay at night. You know, not okay at any time, basically. So luckily, some other friends have downloaded something on their phones and checked it, and it was way beyond 90 decibels or whatever, and they were showing between 70 and 80. After much fighting, and I don't know, they lie in the court also, unfortunately. But because there was so much noise, and I think Sumaira Abdullah and a lot of people made a lot of press and online stuff, they sort of maintained a certain level downtown, but shamelessly at Cuff Parade and Mahim, they just worked throughout the day, making full noise. And they have the government backing, so there's no point taking any more cases because you know they're going to override it. So where is it that we as citizens or as ordinary people have our fundamental right to be able to sleep at night without your building shaking and, you know, things. It's like, so my mom who's sitting next to me is 85 years old. My neighbors are 91 years old. They should not be woken up at night with something, you know, or something crashing, or these trucks go beep, 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 beep. Are, signal band karo ya, we know you're backing up, rasta khula hai, but they have no consideration. So this noise pollution seems to be a losing battle with them to quite an extent.